What up, though, and welcome to Easy. I am Lions Nation Unite. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share this video because in today's video, we're talking about the Detroit Lions trade rumors before the trade deadline. Athletics' Dianna Russini reports the Detroit Lions are amongst teams picking up the phone and calling around the league for the same position. Me, you, your mama, and your granny, too, have been asking for, and that is an edge rusher. Now, I want to make this video because it's very important. I think we be patient with this, all right, and we be logical with this because as much as that report is exciting, so has been the Detroit Lions edge rushing group or the Detroit Lions pass rushing group, I should say. They currently rank sixth in the National Football League as a team when it comes to quarterback pressures, getting after the quarterback. I mean, our guys are actually doing the job. And Dan Campbell's word, he said, we're good. And it turns out they're pretty good. Not only that, but the fact that like Aiden Hudson on his way to a Defensive Player of the Year award right now. He has 6 sacks. He is. Let me hold on. I got the numbers right here. All right, Aiden Hudson currently sits at 6 sacks, 6 tackles for losses, 1 pass deflection, and 4 forced fumbles. That is tied for first in the National Football League. It's a 15.5% pressure rate, 39 quarterback pressures on 251 pass rushing snaps. Now, the other guy seen favorited over him, it was Micah Parsons. There is some context there. Like you would look at the pass rushing snaps, you'd be like, okay, Micah might be having a better year. He has only 188 pass rushes. He has 41 pressures, a 21.8% pressure rate, and 5.5 sacks. But where I'm taking Aiden, where you should take Aiden, I've seen people complain about this too. Why does Micah have higher odds to win Defensive Player of the Year? Brother, that's money in your pocket. Aiden Hudson, those 4 forced fumbles, turnovers, those are things that change the entire change everything. It is, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but just the entire trajectory of a game. Those forced fumbles, putting the ball on the ground. Come on, brother. We're good. We are definitely good. Got to flip my phone over. I'm getting distracted. Back to the thing, though. Obviously, we have Aiden Hutchinson who's killing it. Detroit Lions a team, 6 in quarterback pressures. And the other thing I think is important, too, is like AQM's been actually killing it. Sorry, Al-Qadim Muhammad. I apologize. All right. I just wasn't familiar with the game. I didn't think that was going to last. I thought that was like a situation where you were getting blitzes and all that kind of stuff coming your way. Al-Qadim Muhammad, all right, generated 8 pressures and 40 pass rushes, a 20% quarterback pressure rate. All right. And it's half a sack in week 7 for the Detroit Lions. He led the team in quarterback pressures. He matched up on Tristan Wirfs 19 times those pass rushes, and he got 3 pressures against Wirfs. Wirfs is one of the better offensive tackles in the National Football League. All right. His 28 pressures on the season are tied for 9th most in the NFL. There's Al-Qadim Muhammad, the gentleman that's on our team right now. Not only that, I'm speaking pressures. A lot of people don't like pressures. Let's talk sacks. All right. You want to talk sacks? Let's talk sacks. I just gave you Micah Parsons numbers, who was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, right, with 5.5. How about I tell you, Al-Qadim Muhammad has 5 sacks himself? Just logically thinking, again, I'm happy. I'm more than happy to accept another edge. The Detroit Lions are truly shopping around for that the edge market. I think there's tremendous talent out there that are realistically able to get traded. But the other thing too is not only are our guys performing, I've seen Tyler Lacey come in and look pretty good. I regret to say, and only because I was wrong. You won't hear me say it often. I was wrong. I even saw a little bit out of Tyrus Wheat. All right, that was impressive too. He came out there. Obviously, one of them was a trip, but he also had a forced fumble too. I mean, this Detroit Lions defensive line is only going to get better because you also had Lee McNeil return, and Lee McNeil was an absolute wrecking ball. If you guys haven't seen the all 22 of that one, I can't post it here. It would demonetize this video. But if you go head over to my Twitter, you can find that one. Just type in Lee McNeil, and that's 2 L's on McNeil. I know a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that. That's what I mean by a lot of people. Moving on, though. The other thing, logically thinking, that I don't know if report is true. Maybe it's been true like early this season when Marcus Davenport went down. But again, since then, they've done really, really well. Marcus Davenport is going to return at some point. I would assume in like 2 to 3 weeks from now. Al-Qadim Muhammad, I apologize. Ahmed Hassanin is set to return here soon. I heard somewhere around like week 10 is we're about to see Ahmed Hassanin return. And then you also have Josh Pascal, who's probably going to return here in about another 2 3 weeks. They actually been really quiet on Josh Pesco. I can't actually tell you that he's going to return in 2 3 weeks. I'll take that one back. I don't know what's going on with Josh Pesco. I'm gonna keep my prayers up for him because that situation they've been eerily quiet on. And sometimes, we could see what's going on with Ahmed Hassan on his Instagram. Go give him a follow. You can see what's going on with Marcus Davenport. At least there's like some reports or initial reports of what his return was. There's never really been a true return date for Josh Pesco, only delays. But we'll keep our prayers up for that one. And again, the production of the Detroit Lions team has been tremendous. I don't know how realistic these reports are or when they were based off of, but I don't know that we're necessarily really calling around for another edge rusher. The other thing too is we don't have any third round picks. So unless we get up a second, first, multiple fourths, I mean, I don't know what the situation may be, but like it's not like we have a ton to give up right now in order to trade for someone. But like I said, the report is out there. So let's look at some names. I'm going to start with one that gets me going the most. All right. It's probably not the same as you, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. The guy that I'm most excited about in these trade rumors is Jalen Phillips of the Miami Dolphins, currently playing that 3-4, an outside linebacker style edge. I still think he's capable of putting his hands in the dirt. In fact, I've seen him put his hands in the dirt. I believe it was like 2 years ago. He was extremely productive for that Miami Dolphins team. He's coming off a torn Achilles, just not getting back from that one. I know we have the cliches about Bradley likes his injured players. Well, there's one right there for you. Okay, Jalen Phillips. But when healthy, I mean, kid's an absolute demon. Just this season, in only 136 pass rush snaps, he has 2 sacks and 22 quarterback pressures. That's a 16.2% quarterback pressure rate. You want some perspective in that situation? Aiden Hutchinson sitting at 15.5. He is absolutely getting after it. He played tremendously well against the Cleveland Browns as of late. Only played 17 pass rush snaps, still came away with 1 sack and 4 quarterback pressures, making that a 23.5 quarterback pressure rate. I really like Jalen Phillips. He's also willing to get put his nose in it, get dirty with some run stops. I think that is a important characteristic to look for when you're thinking about these edges that can land with the Detroit Lions. All right, Dan Campbell, Calvin Shepard, they believe the philosophy that you need to earn the right to rush the passer. What does that mean? Stop the run. Do exactly what they did on Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How many can you think of a rushing play they had? Baker Mayfield had less rushing yards than Jared Goff on Monday night. All right. And what ended up happening in that situation, because they couldn't get the run game going, Baker Mayfield couldn't get scrambling. They threw that ball 50 times, allowing our defense to tee off on them and make plays, because only 3 things can happen when that ball's in the air. All right. 2 of them are bad. It's an incompletion or an interception. The other one's just a plain old catch. You got to earn the right to rush the passer. And that's something this Detroit Lions team believes in wholeheartedly. My guy, Jalen Phillips, on the year has 137 run stops, run snaps. I'm an idiot. I apologize. 13 stops. That's run snaps. Now that is different from a name that is hot, the name that everybody wants, and that is Trey Hendrickson of the Cincinnati Bengals, former New Orleans Saints, may have some connections to Dan Campbell and crew. And yeah, I'm with you guys on that one. I was kind of denying this one. I just thought from just a scheme standpoint, from the money standpoint, but then I looked at the money first and foremost, right? It's all about the dollar at the end of the day. And actually, he's only like a 9.5 cap hit if you end up trading for him. There's like a $6 million void year the following season. Is that worth it for a Super Bowl? I think it is. Now, Brad may not, but I think it is. The only thing with him, though, by the way, numbers this year, if you guys want, he has 20 quarterback pressures, 4 sacks, and a 12% quarterback pressure rate. And that is in 157 pass rush snaps. He only has 87 run defenses, though. All right. Just mind you what I just told you there with Jalen Phillips. He was in the hundreds. Trey Henderson, only 87 of those things, meaning they do not rely on him often to stop the run or play the run. He's just not that type of football player. And I truly believe these Detroit Lions like these bigger, heavier set guys that could squeeze the pocket and set an edge. And as much as I think Trey Henderson is tremendously talented when it comes to getting up to the quarterback, playing the entirety of a football game, like again, stopping the run, setting the edge, stuff like that. I don't know that that's his brand of football. All right. Listen, I still want him. Not opposed to like trading for him. I just want people to keep this in mind. That way, if it doesn't happen, you're not all upset and pissed off at Brad Holmes. I mean, look at the type of guys we brought in to play edge position opposite of Aiden Hudson. They are a Popeye's biscuit away from being a defensive tackle. I'm talking about uh, freaking Marcus Davenport, giant human being. Josh Pascal, a bigger guy, has actually played some defensive tackle. How about Ahmed Hassani? Like they're all bigger, thicker dudes. I think Trey Henderson, when you think of him, he is more of a speedier edge rusher. And I just get it. When I'm looking for the type of guy that we're trading for, I'm looking for those big, thick paws. just a bigger guy. All right, let's just leave it there. Speaking of which, I saw some people talk about Will McDonald. I think he's a little bit on the smaller side, but he fits that just hard nosed, smash mouth football style. That's from the New York Jets. I don't know that Aaron Glenn's gonna be willing to part with him. I think he kind of fits the mold and everything to try and establish there. He has the oh my okay, he only has an 11% quarterback pressure rate, 16 quarterback pressures, but he does have 2 sacks, and that is our guy, Will McDonald from the New Orleans. I'm sorry, from the New Orleans Saints. I apologize. From the New York Jets. His counterpart, though, another person on his team, the Detroit Lions actually really liked coming out of the draft is Jermaine Johnson, the third, or could be the second. Let me pull up his stats real quick, too. Jermaine Johnson, let's see what he's been going on this year. I think he's actually playing a little bit better in terms of rushing the passer as Will McDonald. He has a loading screen. He also has 11% quarterback pressure rate, only 1 sack and 11 quarterback pressures. Actually, worse than our guy Will McDonald. He's a little bit bigger though, 6'4", 250. And I remember the Detroit Lions had some interest in him coming out of the draft. That was the same year as Aiden Hutchinson, though. I think Aiden Hutchinson grabbing him kind of helped solidify what they're going to do schematically as a defense. And I just don't know Jermaine Johnson fits that. But I just think it's important to, again, keep in mind the Detroit Lions defense is done so far. I'll say it for the third time in this video. They're sixth in the National Football League right now in quarterback pressures, sixth. And I think the reason why that's important too is like you also are just now getting a guy like Aleem McNeil back. And I think that's huge for so many reasons. So many reasons. I mean, I would love to play a film. Watch a film you like. You have to double team that guy. And if you don't, it's a problem. The other thing too is, okay, well, if you're double teaming Aleem, what are we going to do with Hutch? Hutch is currently the most chipped player in the National Football League. 56%. One of the next highest is TJ Watt. Pretty good, but also 36% chip rate. Like you need the extra manpower to stop Aiden Hutchinson, opening up lanes for guys like Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, Tyreek Williams, Marcus Davenport. Don't forget that too. Marcus Davenport's coming back soon. And Ahmed Hassani's going to make his debut as well. Ahmed Hassani, who grew rapidly in camp as a pass rusher. I mean, I was blown away. I mean, not just me. A lot of the people were blown away the stuff that Ahmed Hassani was showcasing because he was seen as much more of a project piece. But I guess I don't know the validity of this report because I don't know if they're basing this off of calls that were made when Marcus Davenport went down, before Tyler Lacey showed up, before Tyrese Wheat actually showed up on tape. I just want to get ahead of it, to let you guys be calm. Be calm if it doesn't happen. If it does happen, listen, when I think about Jalen Phillips and this team, let me tell you, I will go cash in that Super Bowl bet right now. All right. Like, I am down for this to happen. I just want the proper expectations because I don't want to be bashing Brad Holmes if it doesn't, because our team's doing pretty dang good right now as is. But comment down below, what do you think? One, do the Detroit Lions need to make a trade for an edge rusher, or should they focus on something like offensive line, maybe even secondary, the rapid injuries we got going on there? Two, who is it? Who are these people? Do you want an edge rusher? Which edge rusher do you want and why? Do you want a left tackle? Let me know who and why. Do you want a cornerback? Who? Why? Let me know. But speaking of letting you guys know, let me tell you guys about LionsNationUnite.com, where you get the freshest gear. Listen, I've admitted to this channel before. I hate quarterbacks. I was groomed to hate quarterbacks as a defensive lineman. That is why I am so harsh in grading those guys. Right now, we have a cool nickname for our defense. That's one of the things I've always wanted. That is a trademark of a great defense, is a nickname, right? You got the Bears, Legion of Boom. You got the freaking, I could think, Steel Curtain. It just like, what are we doing? Legion of Whom shirts are available right now on Lions Nation. I go represent those guys: Eric Hallett, Mallet, Thomas Harper, Rocky Sin. Go show some love to those guys. Rock that Legion of Whom shirt. We also got the Sonic and Knuckles gear going on for your kids or for yourself. Go check it out on LionsNationUnite.com. Guys, Let me know what you want to hear this next video. Smash like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share this video. Until next time, I'm out.